It's firing up. Okay, and we're live. Welcome everybody to our second quarterly interview here with Authentic. Thank you if anyone is joining us live. We appreciate it. And for those who are going to catch this archived, thank you as well. So basically, this is our second one that we've done this year, and what we're trying to do is quarterly interviews with folks who use video, who have used video for a while, and are sort of on the cutting edge of things and are seeing great results. So in the first quarter, we talked with JP Ostagai from the Alta Infinity Group in Ontario, Canada. And today we are heading back up to Canada, and we are chatting with Chris Beaton of the Steele Automotive Group, Steele Chevy in Nova Scotia. Chris, how you doing today?
Doing fantastic, John. Yourself?
Doing very well. Very well. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. We got a lot of great feedback on our first interview, so we're looking forward to chatting with you today. So I guess before we sort of jump into things, give me a little bit of background about yourself, your experience in the auto industry, and then sort of where you are now at Steele, and how long you've been there, stuff like that.
I've been in the car business at this location here for well over a decade. Originally, I came from the sales floor myself. I'm currently the sales manager here at the dealership. Handle all the marketing on the variable side of things. Got into the car business way back when out in Edmonton, Alberta, actually. So moved home, came here. I had the opportunity a couple of years back to transition in this role, which I did. And, it's been a fantastic experience. So, part of the Steele Auto Group, I guess us as a whole, we're one of Canada's largest automotive group, biggest on the East Coast. Got about 26 rooftops here on the East Coast. So represent almost all brands here. So we're a proud member of the Steele Auto Group.
Awesome. That's great to hear. And how big is the Chevy dealership where you're based out of? How many guys do you have working the floor, and what's the team like there?
Right now, we're in a growth stage right now. Currently today, we have 18 sales reps on the floor. We do have two buildings. We have a new and a pre-owned building. All of our staff sell both new and pre-owned. We are looking to grow. We've just seen phenomenal growth in the past couple of years. Even this year again, we're talking double-digit increases on both the new and used side of things. So really, in the very short term, we're looking to get that to about 21 sales reps, just to be able to handle the level of traffic we're experiencing right now. So it's been absolutely phenomenal.
Good problems to have, right?
Exactly.
Cool. So I wanted to sort of jump into video a little bit. Steele Chevy has been a Authentic customer for about 2 years now. So talk a little bit about, I guess why you guys decided to get into video, and then sort of, why you chose Authentic, when there are certainly other platforms out there for video.
I guess my first exposure to it was I was exposed to the Authentic app at an auto conference a couple of years back. Where a gentleman spoke on it. We also had Laura Madison. I'm not sure if you're familiar with her. Was a big user of video back. She was one of the speakers there. So they kind of hand in hand. It got me thinking on the whole video concept. And really, that's how people are consuming data right now. That's how people want to consume information. So we really just wanted to dive right into it. Why we chose Authentic again. Had some exposure after talking to this gentleman. We reached out to you, and it's been really a pivotal part of our success in the past number of years, to say the least.
That's great to hear. And so I feel like you guys were fairly early to the video trend.
Yeah.
It seems more and more people are now starting to realize how important video is. I definitely think you guys were, and especially in your area, one of the early adapters. Probably still are. So did you just sort of saw the trend coming and saw the value in sending out personalized videos? Is that correct?
Yeah, people, it's ease of use of the information people are consuming. You look at the stats of how many pages of how many hours people are spending on YouTube, how many videos on YouTube people are watching before they make a purchase decision, how they're consuming that data. It was a no-brainer. The industry is changing at such a rapid rate. And again, just to be an early adopter, you have to be an early adapter if you want to succeed, if you want to be on the cutting edge, and if you want to be looking for those increases. So it's, again, just looking at the studies and how people are consuming that data, it was a no-brainer for us. You know, and it's worked. We sell cars every single month. Not a week goes by where people are not sending in a review on Google or on our Facebook, or calling the dealership, or when we're sending people out the door, shaking our hands and commending us on our use of video. And you know, for the app, we've sold cars out of our area into other people's area, and they've come in and told us the only reason they're here buying this car is because they thought that was the coolest thing in the face of the planet. Right. They actually got a video of this car they were talking about right to their phone or right to their email. They were just, people's minds are totally blown. You know?
Right. Yeah.
We've had other business owners in other areas talk about how cool. Wow, I can't believe I've never thought about using video like that. That's so cool. I'm going to take a look at something like this, like a platform like this, and take it back into my own industry. Right? It's just, you know, it's really a no-brainer.
Yeah. I think I had one user mention to me one time that to the end user who's getting the video, it seems like you spend like hours making this video, when in reality, you know, your guys walked out to the lot, popped open the app, shot the video, and sent it out. So would you say that the ease of use is important to you guys?
Ease of use, this stuff is minutes. This stuff is minutes. It's nothing we can't do from a simple iPhone. You have an iPhone, you can go out there and you can do that, and we're talking minutes. Sign in the app, send the video, put the person's information in, send. They have it. I'd say it takes less time to go out there and send a video than it does to compose a proper email.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah. And you're right that it takes minutes, but you know, from a culture on the floor sort of things, we watch these videos in our sales meetings every single week. Mm-hmm. We'll go through some of these videos, and it kind of almost becomes a competition, because us salespeople were naturally competitive as it is. So we're playing these videos in the meetings, and it almost becomes another competition. Not only you have the sales competition, but you got the video competition, because now people want to have the best videos, want to have the most engaging videos, want to put their own little twists on it. And you know, it's remarkable to see what some of these guys are doing, again, from their phones.
Yeah. That's really cool to hear about, sort of you know, you guys showing the videos. And I think that definitely speaks to sort of the culture that you've been able to create at Steele. You know, and obviously your team has bought into it and things like that. So how are you guys using video now? You know, is it just for the, you know, a walk around video, or sort of, I guess, kind of walk me through the different areas where your team is using video?
We're really using it for absolutely everything we can, and we're constantly looking for new uses for it. Right? You know, obviously we're using video on our social media platforms, on our own manufacturer website and everything. But as far as salespeople generated content, there's just so many uses you can use it for, right? Mm-hmm. We got people sending, not only just someone sending an internet lead. We're still going to send you an email back. We're going to send you a text message, but we're also going to send you a personalized video of that vehicle you just inquired on. And how cool is mm-hmm. that? You know, we're now using it for our CSI. We're using it for sales call follow-up. We're using it to garner reviews for our Google page and our Facebook page. Mm-hmm. You know, just the opportunities are absolutely endless. And you really hit the nail on the head about having to have a culture, because you do have to have a culture. Because if you're not talking about it, if you're not pushing it, and you're not showing people how important it is, it won't come to fruition. You know.
Absolutely. So you mentioned the CSI. I know we just got that set up for you guys. How important is that to you? You know, the CSI in general. How important is that to you guys at the dealership, and then the individual sales folks? And how are you envisioning sort of using video in regards to your CSI?
You know, it's really neat. You know, we have a couple. Same as everything, we have a couple really power users. Mm-hmm. Yep. Everybody's using it. It's mandated by the store. We use it. We have a couple real power users. And after seeing what they were doing with their CSI follow-up, and how strong their CSI and how the gains they were seeing. That's why we decided to implement it. And it's working. We're the #1 CSI dealer for General Motors in Eastern Canada.
That's great.
Right? So, and we're leaps and bounds above the rest. And how do we become even better? You know, now how do we get to be the #1 in Canada? That's the next goal, because there is no finish line. And it's being able to use tools like this app. That's how we're going to get there.
Right. That's great. And so, you know, with the sort of the culture, do you guys do anything? Do you incentivize at all, or is it just they see their own incentive? You know, like you mentioned, sort of internal competitions in the sense of, you know, maybe Gordon sees what Brandon is doing and wants to be better than him. Do you actually do any contests internally or anything, or is it all just kind of bragging?
We don't, because we haven't seen it necessary to have to, because the people see, once you can engage them and show them and mentor them and show them why this is best practice, they're going to incentivize themselves once they start seeing the gains on their paycheck.
That's true.
When they get customers calling them and thanking them and telling them the only reason they're buying this vehicle off them today is because they sent that video, or they're seeing their lead conversions increase. They're seeing their repeat appointments conversions increase. They're seeing their CSI go up. That's all the proof they need. And that's all the financial gain they need there, because all of that stuff shows gains.
Yeah.
Paycheck. So it's great.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And one of your guys, I think it was Brandon. I can't remember specifically. Sent probably one of my favorite videos. We've used it a couple times as an example of sort of thinking outside the box, where he played a song for a customer about falling in love or something as he walked around.
Yeah, I want to know what love is. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even think he talked, you know, during the video. He just played the song and walked around the Tahoe or whatever it was. And
yeah.
I thought that was great. I think that definitely shows, you know, kind of thinking about culture and stuff like that. You know, you've obviously given the guys freedom to be creative, you know, and stuff like that. And you obviously trust what they're doing.
Yeah, and that's it. You know, that's a prime example, John, of us playing those videos in the meeting and pushing them to be better. Think outside the box, be memorable. You know,
Yeah.
just sending the video, that right there is already going to be better than our competitors' best, because nobody else is doing it. You know, or nobody else is doing it with the same intensity. So, and then just kind of putting those creative spins on it again is just going to make it all the more memorable, because at the end of the day, people buy off people.
Yep.
And people are buying experiences. You know, just creating that experience for them, you know, which is important for us. And I think all this stuff comes hand in hand to the CSI, to the volume increases, and it all plays into each other.
Cool. So what's your expectations for new hires? So, you know, you mentioned, you know, you guys are going to be growing, adding some folks this year.
Yeah.
What's the expectation for them, you know, coming in with video? You know, what do you set at the beginning of the conversations?
Probably 9 times out of 10, we have a new hire. They've come from another dealership, or they have some automotive experience, and just showing them some of the things we're doing here and what we're doing with video. Again, they're immediately bought in, because they're just immediately, wow. The dealership I was at before never did anything like this. This is so cool. And then again, we'll get them into the sales meeting. They're seeing how fired up everybody's getting watching these videos. They're seeing what their coworkers are doing. You know, we're going around the room, we're talking about success people have had with video this week. And that's all the buy-in they need. And while there is expectation there, because, you know, again, we had a new hire that started this week. You know, she came in probably about half hour before we jumped on this call. Again, Chris, what was the name of that app? I want to get that downloaded right away. Well, we've said, you know, it's not that it's expectation you have to do this, but they're just, again, this is the culture of the dealership. This is something we do, and people are going to buy in on their own.
Yeah.
But as far as expectation, we use, you know, this one of my favorite tools with the app is just the performance reports you can generate. Mm-hmm. We have that expectation for everybody of, again, use this video. We all can see why video sells cars, right? Yes, perfect. Let's do it. actually every day what we'll do is we'll send out the performance report of what sort of video activity has everyone had today, right? And we have different campaigns set up, as you know, in the app itself. So we have them divided into our follow-up bucket, our CSI, our review bucket, our lead response bucket. So at the end of the day, when we're looking, okay, what do our appointments look like for tomorrow? And we're saying salesman A doesn't have an appointment, and we look at it as a performance report. We haven't had any video activity today. Maybe those two go hand in hand.
Right.
So that's when we have the conversation. Let's get on this video. Let's get some stuff out, and I guarantee you we're going to have some appointments flush out.
Right.
So
yeah, that's awesome. And we also have I'm not even sure how connected you are with the service department, but we have your service department set up with video, and they're doing. It's been a little bit slower getting them rolling, but there's a couple guys over there that do it real regularly, and I think they're seeing good feedback from video as well.
And that you hit the nail right in the head, and that's why it's something. This has been a 2.5-year journey for us to get to the point of being the power user that we are now. It's been a journey, and that's the service department is on its way through that journey now. And then again, as we've touched on a number of times here, it's getting the buy-in from everybody and showing that it works. Right? And that's why, again, you'll see some early adopters that I'm going to be a power user. They see this, what I mean? Because the same as anything, you'll have leaders and you'll have followers. You get a couple strong leaders, and the rest will follow. And that's what's happening back in the fixed ops now. And I know one of our guys, he developed he really put the extra effort into his CSI video, and he's got some different graphics done. So he's actually doing a CSI video for every single one of the staff to send out. So every single customer gets that CSI video, right?
Yeah.
But now our fixed ops manager, he's seen that video, and that's something he's going to be adopting as well. So again, you can almost create a generic video, take that in, and just use that same campaign every time, because the ability of the app to personalize it with that customer's name.
Yep.
You don't even necessarily have to go and spend that 2 minutes making that video each time. Make a generic video.
Have it preloaded, ready to go.
Have preloaded, ready to go. The app will do the rest as far as personalizing it, right?
Right.
And again,
absolutely.
For the client that has never gotten that before, that's a wow.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's going above and beyond. That's being better than the competitor's best. Right?
Yep. Yeah. Cool. That's all good stuff. So I guess, Chet, tell me a little bit, over the last 2 years, since you adopted the video, what kind of results has the store seen? Have you guys grown? Sort of, talk a little bit about, Steele Chev over the last 2 years.
The past 2 years, and again, this, our use of video, I attribute to our success. My general manager would attribute to our success, and that's why we keep on using and keep on finding new reasons to use it. We've seen double-digit growth. It's just our trajectory has been upward, and again, that's why we're looking to hire more, because I think we had a few more personnel. We could be going upward even faster. Right, so it's been a fantastic couple of years in the store.
That's great to hear. And you guys are the largest. Is it the largest volume dealership in Eastern Canada, or
we're the largest volume as far as volume for 2017? We're the largest volume in Atlantic Canada right now.
That's fantastic.
You got a couple. You got the whole eastern zone. So some of the dealers in the Quebec area have us nudged out for volume. Actually, the number one volume GM dealer in Canada is actually in Quebec, but as far as the Atlantic zone, we're the number one volume right now.
Fantastic. Good news. So people are making money?
Lots of people making money. The car business is a good business to be in right now, that's for sure. That's for
Good news. Good to hear. Well, this has been so good. Before we sign off, I would just love to hear, what's your number one piece of advice for a dealership that wants to create a video culture that's maybe they're just getting started, or they're just sort of realizing the importance? What would be your if you could sort of wrap everything up, what's your number one piece of advice to create a video culture?
Number one advice: talk about it. You got to start. You got to start first. You got to crawl before you walk before you run before you sprint. it all starts with the decision to do it and adopt it. You know, same as anything else in life. Same as anything. You know, change is difficult. People find change difficult, and you're going to get pushback along the way. And there are always going to be leaders, and there's going to be followers, and it's recognizing who the leaders are, and let them lead by example. And we're talking about dollars and cents. Once people start seeing those dollars and cents and start seeing that return on their time investment, others will follow. Because, you know, the car business is a very competitive business, so people are always looking for a way to nudge out the competition and looking to win.
Yep.
You know, so it's just a decision to start and talk about it. You know, the number one thing we do is we just talk about it in the meetings and playing the videos. Because, you know, for some people it may be uncomfortable to out of the box for them to put themselves on video. And just everything changes over time. Once you start playing the videos in the meetings and talking about it, and people get more and more comfortable over time. So
that's great. So start it, talk about it, and then get it in the hands of the right people first, and then let the others follow.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Very cool. Anything else you want to add before we jump off?
No, I'm all good, John.
Awesome. Well, Chris, thank you so much for carving out the time. Again, if you are in the eastern side of Canada, or actually anywhere in Canada, and are looking for a Chevy, right? Make sure you check out Steele Chevy. They are a fantastic group to work with. You're going to have a lot of fun getting their videos. So thank you, Chris, for your time, and hopefully I think everyone's going to get a lot of value out of this.
Yeah. Thanks so much, John.
Cool. Thank you, everyone.
Cheers. Bye, everybody.